Hi, it's Sheik, and we're going to read through the patch notes for the mid-season patch on Marvel Rivals, and I'll tell you guys my thoughts and exactly what I think about everything. So I couldn't actually find the patch notes anywhere for some reason, so we're going to read it off a random site, but these are 100% true because I've seen them in many places. So we're going to start at the very bottom because strategists are there. We don't want to start with vanguards. So we have some random settings at the bottom. Do we have anything interesting? Something about inactivity detection, reticle customization, which is good because I don't know if you guys had it, but if you change your reticles, sometimes they could reset back. That happened to me a few times. It was very annoying. Then we have the ranks. So we have the new costumes for Invisible Woman and Human Torch, and then we have distinct designs for Grandmaster, Celestial, Eternity, and Top 500. It's not all going to be the same anymore, which is great. We have hide your own name feature, which is great for people Diamond 3 and above. That means that people aren't going to be able to target ban as much because you're not going to know who's in your game, which is at the moment pretty much what decides most high elo games. If someone on the enemy team knows someone on your team, and then they'll ban their main. So that's great. I love that. Twitch drops. Oh yes, players who purchase a luxury battle pass and redeem all its rewards can now convert any leftover chrono tokens for units. So chrono tokens are the battle pass currency, units are the currency that you use to buy skins. So I think it's a 1,000 chrono tokens to 100 units ratio, which isn't amazing, but at the same time it's still great because chrono tokens you can get for free just by playing the game, and then you can convert them to units which you can use to buy skins, so it's a win-win situation. We get the new map, which was shown off. The new map looks great. Extra 0.5 seconds of grace time at the end of overtime. Interesting. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, team ups. What do we have? We have symbiotes? Symbiotes? I don't know how you say that. Spider-Man. Reduce Spider-Man's suit expulsion duration from 4 seconds to 1 second. Replace the 50% damage reduction effects with the new invincibility effects during the duration. So, a lot less time, but now he can't be damaged. And then Penny Parker's armor expulsion duration from 4 seconds to 2 seconds, and the same effects there. Lunar Force, which is Moon Knight's team up with Cloak and Dagger. He now heals for 25 per second while he's in the area. Overall, a pretty good change. It feels a little bit not impactful, which is the same kind of situation with all these team ups, so I'm glad that they're getting changed. Gamma Charge, reduce Uni Beam damage from 220 to 200. We needed that. Iron Man ability is disgusting. Thank you. Reduce Hawk's team up anchor health bonus from 150 to 100, so 50 less health. Great. We don't like Hawk, he's kind of been dominating. Dimensional shortcut, so this is a team up between Magic, Black Panther and Psylocke. Reduce the rewind time from 5 seconds to 3 seconds, and the conversion ratio of lost health will be increased, so you get more health. And it's the same thing there as well. Atlas Bond, which is Lunar Snow and what's his name? Iron Fist team up. Increase the healing amount of Frozen Chi from 50 to 75 and the slowing effect on enemies from 20% to 30%. That's actually a really good buff. The slow is going to be pretty good as well. Love that Luna gets a little bit more peel if she does happen to get an Iron Fist on her team. Okay, strategist. This is my ballpark. So, just before we read stuff, I'm aware that triple support may be dead after this patch. We may be cheering. I hate triple support. It's terrible. I can't stand getting a third support on my team that has no idea how to play support, and it's so annoying. So we're going to start off at the bottom. Lunar Snow. The energy cost of her ultimate is now increasing from 4,000 to 4,500, so that's an 1/8 higher if we're doing fractions. Which is pretty significant, and we'll just go through the changes, and then I'll say what I think at the end. Loki is having his ultimate cost increase from 3,400 to 4,000, so this is a 600 increase. Luna's is only a 500 increase. He's also having his normal attack charges going from 10 to 12, which is great buff for Loki. Invisible Woman, her ult is going from 4,000 to 4,300, which is a 300 increase, so hers is the lowest increase so far. Cloak and Dagger has some pretty big changes. Their ult is going from 3,400 to 4,000, which is the same as Loki, the same changes as Loki. She now can't stack her ultimate at all, so you won't be able to put the damage and the healing on top of each other and have it stack. The healing amount of her ult will now go from 220 to 250, which is the same as Luna's ult. My bad. Which is the same healing factor as Luna's ult, which is really interesting. The duration is reduced from 10 seconds to 8 seconds, and the pause time is also reduced to 0.67 seconds, so it lasts a lot less time, and also you can't stack, and it charges a lot slower. Blah, 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 blah. Camera controllers unlocked. That'll be interesting to try out. Increase the vulnerability of inflicted on enemies by Terror Cape from 20% to 28%, so an extra 8% damage increase when you hit someone with Cloak's blind ability, which is really interesting change. That means you're going to have to be throwing that out a lot more, and definitely on cooldown if you're not already. Adam Warlock gets a bit more damage. Damage of Quantum Magic from 55 to 60. Damage fall off at 40 meters will be changed from 50% to 60%. And the healing amount provided by Soul Bond to Link's allies is going from 10 per second to 15 per second. Pretty good changes for Adam. He's not been hit by any ult ability energy cost changes. Something that is missing from here that I saw elsewhere is Mantis. I don't know if this has been taken off for a reason, but I thought the Mantis's overhealth in her ultimate got nerfed by 50, which I didn't think she needed, so maybe they've taken it out, I don't know. Anyways, overall, strategists are going to get their ults a lot slower, so if you're pairing, you know, Lunar Snow, Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger together, additionally, that's another 600, 900, 1,400 energy costs needed to get all three of their ultimates, which is pretty significant. It's going to add like another, what? I did the maths last night. It's like 8 seconds or something to their ultimates, something like that. Either way, it's going to make triple support not as good because DPS ultimates will probably be able to charge faster, and you'll have more situations where a DPS ultimate can get off without the other team having a healer ultimate. So we cheer, thank God. Anyways, let's go on to Duelist. So Storm, we knew she was getting nerfs, so damage fall off of Wind Blade, which is her normal attack, I think, at 30 meters will be changed from 70% to 60%, so she's doing less damage at long range. Reduce the damage increase from Thunder during weather control from 16% to 12%. Damage increase for allies within range has been increased from 8% to 10%. So her self damage increase has gone down by 4%, her allies has gone up by 2%, so more of a utility supportive ability now, I guess. Reduce the damage increase from Enhanced Thunder during weather control from 30% to 25%. So same thing there, 5% decrease when you actually activate it with E, I think it is. So we knew Storm was getting nerfs. I don't think they're huge nerfs. I think she'll still be good, so don't worry. Star-Lord, little buff, rocket propulsions maximum energy from 1,200 to 1,800, which is his resource bar that he uses to fly around, so that's a pretty good buff for him. Then we have Spider-Man, reduce web cluster energized time from 3 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Don't know about Spider-Man, don't know what ability that is. Cool, don't want him in my games. Moving on. Scarlet Witch, gain additional 100 bonus health. Upon ulting, after the ability ends or is interrupted, the bonus health will decay at a rate of 50 per second. So this is a great change for Scarlet. She gets a little bit more health when she's ulting. Hopefully she can get more ults off. She's very weak. Great change. Moon Knight. Right. Reduce its talon's falling speed and corrects the damage trigger logic. The previous mechanism that dealt 75 damage when positioned at the center of the spell field has been removed. Increase the damage of each hit from 75 to 150. So we'll have to test this in the game, but it seems like his ults can be falling a lot slower and doing 150 damage on each hit, which seems like it's going to be easier to walk out, and hopefully you can walk out without 2 of them hitting you, because if you get hit by 2 of the talons, you'll die with 150 damage. So maybe it's easier to walk out, maybe it's going to be easier to survive since they do damage slower, we'll see. Mr. Fantastic, increase spell field radius after landing from flexible elongation from 2.5 meters to 5 meters. Now has a knockback effect, launching enemies outward within the area upon landing. The recharge time for a single use of flexible elongation will be adjusted from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. Increase the damage of his ult from 50 to 70. Increase the energy cost from 2,800 to 3,400. And a damage decay mechanism has been introduced. Spellfield damage will begin to decrease starting at 3 meters and will reduce a maximum reduction of 50 at 10 meters. Interesting. He has a lot of changes there. Basically, he now knocks people back. And his ultimate does a bit more damage, but you can't cast it as much. We'll see. That seems like just a mixture of stuff for him. I don't know whether that's good or bad, to be honest. I feel like it's going to make him a bit better, but we'll see. Magic, so she is getting nerfs, I believe. Decrease the damage dealt by Demon's Rage, which is a demon thing that she spawns, from 80 per second to 72 per second. Reduce the energy cost of her ult from 3,700 to 3,400. Ah, okay, so less damage on a demon, she's going to ult more. Done. Iron Man, increase the UD beam damage from 120 to 140. Increase the UD beam damage from 180 to 190. So this is just increasing his singular damage as a normal hero and not having to rely on the team up, I think, because the team up got nerfed, which is interesting. Kind of glad that they did that. We don't want to just nerf him out the game. Iron Fist. Okay, I'm not reading all this, but in summary, he now does 1.7% of opponents' maximum health, which is insane. So he now is just like a tank killer. He has a lot more damage, health even, I think. So he's a bit more like a bruiser now. Increase the maximum bonus health. Yeah, everything gives him more health. So what you need to know about Iron Fist is tank killer, a bit like Wolverine, more health. That's a lot to read. HEALER, damage fall off of Night Sword Thorn at 30 meters will be changed from 70% to 80%. Is that her right click? Not too sure, but either way, she's doing less damage at longer range, which is great. Hawkeye, increase base health from 250 to 275. No! Reduce projectile damage of blast arrow from 20 to 15, while the spell field damage will be increased from 25 to 32. Reduce the cooldown time for Crescent Slash from 15 seconds to 12 seconds, and the draw speed during his ultimate will be increased, and raise the damage multiplier from 1.2 to 1.335. So in his ultimate, he does more damage, fires faster. His peel ability, where he knocks people back, is on a lower cooldown. He has more health, so he's getting just buffs across the board, basically, which is a bit interesting, because I still think he's a good character if you're a good player, but either way. Black Widow, what does she got? Increase the magazine capacity of her rifle from 8 to 15, so almost doubled. That's pretty huge, to be honest. She's not going to need to reload as much anymore. The slowing effect is going from 80% to 55% in her ultimate, which is good, because I feel like you could not move in her ult at all. Additionally, it will apply a 15% vulnerability effect to hit enemies for 4 seconds. Interesting. So if you get hit by her ult, you'll be taking 15% more damage. I wonder if that means that you can one-shot headshot. I'm assuming it probably does mean that on a squishy. And this will probably apply to all your allies as well. Like, your allies can do more damage to them, which is going to make her ult a lot better. A lot more, like, good for zone control and stuff like that. And actually have them take damage in the ult and not just kind of sit there and survive anyway. Okay, Venom. Adjust the knockback effect of frenzied arrival from vertical to inward with an inward knockback angle of 75. I think this just adjusts the quality of life for him so you can actually see the targets that you knock up a bit more, I think. Reduce the ultimate cost from 2,800 to 2,500. That is a very short ultimate cost. He's going to get that quite often. He's going to be a nuisance for healers, I think, for sure. Because he's always got, like, he can always ult twice. Because Lunar Snow is 4,500. He is 2,500. So it's almost half the energy cost of Lunar's ult. So you can ult twice, almost. Thor, we have remove the shed cooldown time after the duration of Awakening Rune ends. Not too sure about Thor. I think this is meaning that he can cast stuff a lot quicker. So he's going to be good. I think this is a good change for him. I did see some people playing him. They said it was good. I'll take their word for it. Magneto, increase Iron Volley projectile damage from 35 to 40. That is very scary because he has like a 4-shot combo right now. So don't know what that is going to do to that. Maybe you're going to die quicker. Hopefully not. Increase metallic curtains energy consumption from 50 per second to 65 per second, and maximum duration from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. Pretty big for his survivability, that is, in a bad way. Nerfs him quite a bit. It'll be interesting to see if he falls down on the tier list a bit. That seems like a pretty big nerf in my eyes. We'll see. Groups can now place walls at a further range. Cool. Doctor Strange's health is being reduced from 650 to 600, which is great. Nerf him, don't care about him, he's still so OP. No one should be able to carry games with him and be 50-0. Captain America, he'll be able to shield himself with Living Legend mid-leap. Increased vibranium energy saw projectile speed from 60 to 80, with ricochets ramping up from 100 to 150. Reduce the energy cost of ults from 3,100 to 2,800. Separating Sentinel Strike from melee attacks, will be able to use melee attacks while his shield is thrown or during the team ability charge Aegis states to activate the first 2 hits of Sentinel Strike. Additionally, while airborne, using melee attacks will no longer trigger the Super Soldier Slam ability. Okay, so a lot of wordy stuff there. Basically, he can ult faster, his projectiles fire faster, he can shield himself while he's jumping, and it looks like he can maybe animation cancel like melee attacks and stuff like that. Basically, he looks like he can deal more damage and he's not locked out of certain animations while he's doing certain things. So quality of life stuff for him, I think these are probably going to be pretty buffs. I'm assuming pretty buffs, pretty good buffs. I'm assuming if you're a Captain America main, this is very nice to you. I don't know too much about him. He's fallen behind in games, so I'm glad he's getting some love, but yeah, him and Venom have really low ultimate cost now, so it's going to be interesting to see if they're played quite often or not. But overall, what I think about this patch is really good. I think the devs have been able to target everything that's a little bit OP, the problems in the games they seem to know about, so I'm very surprised, actually, that the devs have done so well. It feels like they've kind of hit everything that they needed to hit. Even stuff like hiding names and stuff like that for quality of life in ranks in high elo play. It looks like they've also introduced some more graphics settings, which hopefully is good for people with lower quality computers. I have no idea, don't know about that stuff. However, I think overall great, very good patch, and we're also going to see Human Torch and The Thing, which I'm very excited about. They look very good. And yeah, thumbs up. Another great patch from Marvel Rivals Season 1.5 update, and I can't wait to play it. Thanks for watching.